Turns out that's quite hot.
Welcome to Rising Heat. We put athletes in uncomfortable positions and we see how they respond to it. We all sit in the sauna and I ask them questions, and at the end of the whole show, we basically find out who can keep their cool, if they can last the whole time, that is. Today we've got two backs. We've got Will Greenwood and Christian Wade, and we're gonna see who can keep their cool for the longest.
Thought it wasn't hard to notice. Told me there's a lot to see. Optimist, now I'm hopeless. Tried to take a part of losing. Take a shot, losing focus. Scared because I start all me. Optimist, now I'm hopeless. Tried to take a part of me. Tried to take a part of me.
I don't know why these guys were standing out there waiting for me.
So tell me about the concept again.
Nah, man, you ain't come in, man.
The clever people sit down the bottom, right?
You sit on the top. Do you sauna much?
On ski trips, if that doesn't sound middle class.
Sounds very middle class. You probably get this a lot because not many people have done it, but obviously you went to the NFL. And you played in the NFL. Is there anything like recovery-wise that you took from them?
Sauna is definitely one of those
Oh,
things.
is it?
Yeah. Majority of the time, after training, before training, guys will be in there.
It's interesting to have backs in here. Like, I've done this series already and I've only had forwards. When I spoke to the forwards, everyone's quite emotional and quite thoughtful. And I just wondered if you guys as backs, do you see yourselves as more analytical or more instinctual as players? The way you sort of approach the game?
I would imagine, without answering for Christian, we couldn't be more polar opposite.
Oh, really?
Totally game of chess. Try and work out where the ball's going to be in 2 or 3 phases. I might be completely wrong, whereas as you just go, bang, go, beat 5 people, score.
I think, he's hit the nail on the head for me. I'm definitely more of an instinctual player. I pride myself on like training so I can be ready for like any opportunity or moment to like pounce on that. And then there is obviously a little bit of chess, a little bit maybe with my opposite man and stuff like that. But, 9 times out of 10 or 80% of the way I play is definitely instinctual.
It's why I love rugby, because it totally celebrates difference. I played in the centre with a guy called Mike Tyndall, right? Couldn't, even though we're sort of Northerners, completely different. And neither of us would ever stand up and say we were the best centre, but I would always be confident. But we are the best centre combination. That's the beauty of rugby. You often look after each other's weaknesses and exaggerate, accelerate each other's strengths.
Yeah.
That's quite an interesting take. So, like, with the way you're talking, do you think you could play in today's game?
52 years old.
Obviously not right now,
kilos.
but like, take your prime. Do you think your prime would be the same prime in today's game?
Yeah, it's a slightly different puzzle. There's slightly different shapes and speeds. But we haven't reinvented the wheel. The game is still basically get the ball down there, or if they've got it, stop them. And so, I mean, I may not quite be as effective, but I think there's still places, or there's still a place in a team for a player who can find a nice pass at the right time, or who understands winning a gain line without necessarily charging over it, just winning 6 inches, quick ball play. Christian on the loop on the way around, bang, we're in away. I'd love to play with Christian to work out how can I manipulate the defence to give him half a yard, because if he gets half a yard, he scores every time.
Maybe because I'm a forward, I don't think about back play like that. This is probably a little bit off script, but like what you said, I found it quite interesting. Like, because I see back play as overload. And then you basically have the majority of your backs in the open field, but they have to keep some people on the short side. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And so you basically overload them. And there's nothing you can do about that because you just have more men. And if you make the right decision, you'll break them.
So data-wise, man, I haven't got in front of me. I would suggest more tries are scored back up a short side.
They're not.
More are
scored up a short side. I would say you would love a short side, right?
Yeah.
Defenders still struggle on a short side, because they don't know whether to press, back off, fullbacks covering the open and back, so that much easier to manipulate a short side D than it is an open side D.
For me personally, if I'm on a short side, I want to get in at 1, because even if they've got like 3 and I've got 3 with me, 2 with me, then I would back myself to get to the second guy.
Yeah, but I'd only go short side. Like, obviously you guys are the player that play. But you'd only go short side. But short side, you're not making breaks. Like, you're bending them. Like maybe off quick ball. You're not making breaks or short sides.
Yeah,
You don't know.
But like I just said there, if you got like 3 defenders on short side and it's me, Will, and let's say Jason Robinson outside, and I get the ball and I kick out to the second guy, now it's a 3-on-2 on the edge, and we're gonna break you.
And he can do that on both sides.
I totally get your point, and we can always be like, okay, they could score this way, they could score this way, because you could be like, okay, a chip and chase, you could score that. You get what I mean? I'm talking about broad patterns that work the majority of the time. Themes at which, even if you were to change the players involved, this is the pattern that you should still play. Short side, if you have, yes, I guess, if you have you two and Jason Robinson, yeah, okay, and against me and the rest of the front row, happy days. It makes sense, like. But I was just talking about like broad patterns. We surely have to think open side more than short side.
It's after man, I remember. You're right.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing this, man.
Which country is it where you got to be nude in the sauna? And I walked in and I was like, I think I'm in the wrong hotel. I think I went to Austria and they were all in the sauna nude and it was slightly off-putting. I was in my shorts.
And it's like weird if you're wearing clothes. They look at you like the weird one. Will, you mentioned one player you enjoyed playing with, Alan Baitman.
Oh, the clamp. Lions in 97.
When we talk about Lions in 97, why did you think he was such a great player that you played with?
Generous, selfless. So I hadn't played for England. I was 0 caps when I went on Lions in 97. You turn up at a hotel in Weybridge and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And it's an intimidating place when you're a young kid and you've not played international rugby.
How old was you at the time?
I was 24, so it's quite, in our days, they didn't pick you at 18, 19. Yeah. Now it's like if you're good enough, you're old enough. And I turned up and he just came over and gave me a hug and just really open. And then when we went out on the rugby field, you come in with some ideas, but again, you're uncapped. And these guys have won Grand Slams, they played in World Cups. I'm like, wow, I think we should run it like this. And he was always, how Greens, well, my nickname was Shaggy in those days, the cartoon character. How do you think, what do you think of that one? Because you're right in the middle of it. I said, yeah, I like it, but mate, you got wheels, and if I can slide to the outside and buy you half a yard, oh mate, let's try it. And then not only was he prepared to try it, he never called me out. If I made an error, he picked me up. If I missed a tackle, he made my tackle. He was hard as nails. He was so quick. It just so happened that the test team midfield was Gibbs and Gusker, and it was me and Baitman in the midweek team. So we were like trying to get into a place that you can't get into with those two, unbelievable. But I always believe me and Baitman could take Jerry and Gibbsy. And I think you've got to have that belief when you do it. And everyone goes, but they're the 2 of the greatest lines ever. Yeah, I know, but
I was decent, all right. I wasn't too shabby.
You've got to step onto a field thinking like that. And Baitman allowed you, without any international experience, to come in with that belief and actually believe it, not just small talk.
It's interesting that you say that, like, because you didn't have any caps before that, but if I remember correctly, you only had one. Was it in Argentina just before, right? So it's like a similar sort of situation. Like, how did you feel when you got called up?
So firstly, literally the week before, I was on tour with England in Argentina. I had my debut international game or capped game, and it was the morning of the second test when Stuart came into the door and knocked on, and Stuart doesn't, he doesn't come to the players' doors unless it's like maybe a leaders meeting or whatever. So I was already nervous, like what's happening? Look for the people, and he broke the news to me, and I was, I think I actually just like dropped onto my bed. This is crazy, It's a whirlwind, from, fighting so hard just to get my first cap, and then the second week being shipped off to Australia. So, the feeling was amazing. It was a surreal moment, man. Just, from being at a complete high here, thinking you couldn't get any higher, just got my first cap and then having that news. And then to top it off, they were like, you're going to start, so you're going to go there and you're starting, and we're flying in Shane Williams, who's obviously one of my idols, someone I, marked my game on. Yeah. We're both starting on the wing, so I was like, mate, this is like...
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah.
Who was it against?
Brumbies.
Right.
Yeah, we actually lost that game, but we can probably cut that. But yeah, we played against the Brumbies, and mate, it was just... I didn't care that I was tired than the whole season, coming to the end of a tour and had to go over there and do the rest. I was just like, this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was...
How did it feel like, sort of... Because obviously, when you were selected, you were there from the beginning and everything. Like when you had to go and sort of meet these people and start, how did you feel then? Did you feel like it was hard to integrate yourself or not particularly?
It was quite good back then because we had a lot of English guys in the team. So I'd known majority of those guys because they were around my age at that sort of time. And, you know, Stuart had come in, was already starting to bring the young guys through, and they were being rewarded for that. Even in the Welsh and Irish team, because of the under-18s, under-20s set up, you know, there was a load of guys in the team who I already knew. So it was almost like, you know, welcome. Yeah. Welcome to the family. Like, you know, they've seen what I've been able to produce over the years and felt like it was well deserved to be there and stuff. And it was just, you know, you could probably talk to it as well, the environment of... Yeah.
You leave your Celtic or your English hat at the door and you become a Lion. And then, so when you're young, you think, oh God, they're Welsh, they're Irish, they're Scottish. That's not people who've had that experience and been in it. No, you're a Lion now. You've been picked because you're good enough. Big hug, big smile. Yeah. And away we go.
It's not difficult at all. It's the easiest questions.
No Sudoku, no riddles. Nothing. No, that's what I came for. I came for the maths.
Too much. Oh. That's going to be blurred, isn't it? Both of you have been part of 2 test series at one. Yeah. What do you think was special about your group?
The coaches and the back office, backroom staff, the care, the emotional care you'd get, not just physically, but mentally from those guys way before there were psychologists. The docs, the medical room was a safe space with those guys. And then just a purple patch of players coming together at the right time from all the different nations. Massive blend, which is the thing, and often actually weirdly in 2013 in the third test when they won, it was 13 Welshmen, 1 Irishman, 1 Englishman in the start. Corbusier and Sexton, otherwise it was 13 Welsh. But for us it was the blend and a smaller group, not a smaller group that were tight every night of the week, probably a little bit too old school now. You'd laugh at the amount of times we were out. Like, what, on a Lions tour? Yeah, well, it just turned professional. Like, what's going on? So it was just all these little things that if you'd taken one of those pieces away, we won it with a drop goal in the second test. It was that tight. You take one of those things away, maybe we don't, but we did. And that's all that matters.
What about you?
I mean, obviously I joined the tour late, so I missed a lot of the build-up and like the prep, but from the get-go when I got in there, I was walking around like starstruck, where you had, you know, Brian O'Driscoll, Paul O'Connell, Mike Phillips, Sexton, even all the England guys that I played with, they obviously reached another level now. You know, the Welsh guys back then were on form, you know, one of the best teams in the Northern Hemisphere. You know, George North, huge lad, you know, running over guys. Yeah. So for me, it was, you know, a bit of starstruckness at the beginning, but then it was understanding what the dynamic was and like, you know, welcome. You're here because you deserve it. Like, we're here to work hard and then, you know, relax off the field, make sure we're right. You know, we didn't really train for too long. It was always intense and like high level, but there's not enough time to relax and chill because there's a lot of games.
One really interesting thing I've picked up from speaking to all the Lions is that like everybody cares so much. Yeah. That's what. In
'97, the Saturday team lost to the Bulls at Loftus Versfeld, tough place to play. And then the following week, we had Gauteng Lions, which is Transvaal, but the Ellis Park, where Nelson Mandela gave Pienaar the trophy. This is where they won the World Cup and where they're playing their provincial team, Gauteng.
2 years later.
Yeah, there. And we go, and as we're running out, the boys didn't need to travel or whatever. They didn't need to come to the game. They had a massive game coming up. They could have been resting, all in the change room before the game. We won the game, and the first people just big hugs. All just, man, you got this tour back on track. So the Wednesday team can't win you the test series, but a Wednesday team that fights and pushes and stays together and goes, I understand selection, can give that Saturday team that feeling of, mate, they're not knifing me in the back. He's not just trying to nick my place. He's not trying to injure me in training. He wants me to do well.
What player in their prime would you bring to this tour? If you could choose any player from any Lions tour, what player would you choose to bring on this tour? And why, obviously?
I mean, you go back to the greats and you're going Gareth Edwards at 9, Willie John in the second row. You could go for each generation. The 70s, who might you want? You might want Phil Bennett at fly half. You might go Gerald Davis or JJ Williams on a wing. Now we're moving to the 80s. Who do I want from the 80s? Mike Teague, Peter Winterbottom, Robert Jones. Rory Underwood scored the winner in '89 in Brisbane. Jerry Guscott. You move into the 90s. Start talking about Jono, Keith Wood, Lawrence, Gibbsy, Jerry, Neil Jenkins kicked them all. You move into the noughties. Start thinking you've got to bring Alan Wynne back. You've got to bring Brian O'Driscoll. You're asking me to choose one. I'm trying to name.
You were giving me a lot of names. When he bumps into them, he'll say like, "I said your name," you know. I need one.
For me, Mike Gibson, 5 Lions tours, awesome human being, and it'd be great to bring someone who played in black and white, with like weighed 12 stone and was 5'10". You'd think he's the water boy, and he's crashing it up at 13, or he's sliding around the outside of Soili at 13 because Gibson could coast.
What about you?
My knowledge of players is not as extensive as yours. My first memory of the Lions was 2005 because I didn't grow up in rugby, so it was kind of late. Obviously, watch you guys win the World Cup. That inspired me to want to take rugby seriously.
I'm guessing Jason Robinson's your answer.
Yeah, pretty much. I was going to bring, Billy Wiz, man, because he was just, I feel like he was just that special player who had great skills, but then his footwork and his speed was nuts. And he also put people away. You know that one in the corner to you?
Yeah.
I used to watch that try all the time.
Who are you excited about to see on the tour? Is there any players you're like, I can't wait to see him cook, man?
Thomas Williams.
Thomas Williams, of course, that's your guy, innit? Yeah. Is there anyone you're excited about?
Kinghorn.
Kinghorn.
I love watching him.
He's a proper player.
So I always think if I'm playing centre, who would I want? And if you've got Kinghorn out the back, you can go right to the line. If Ikitau and those boys shut the door on you, lob it out the back door, and he's 11 foot tall. He's a 200-metre runner. It literally, you can aim at 45 square metres, a 5x9 area. You just throw it into that area, he'll catch it. And to be able to go to the line and have that out the back gives your midfield so much threat because they can go an extra yard and get nose to nose with the Aussies and then still go because they know Kinghorn will just sweep up. And that's why I'm Finn Russell. I'd love to play 12 to his 10. What's it like playing with him?
Finn is a little bit more structured than you think. Like, do you know what I mean, innit? Finn is a little bit... He's so smart and so aware of the game, and he's got a skill that other 10s just don't seem to have. Like, he's able to catch the ball really early and able to throw a really fast, accurate pass. Yeah. Those two things, I think, are underrated skills. And as a result, like, whether he's like dead square to the line or whether he's drifting, you don't know what he's able to do because he's caught the ball so early and because he's able to get the ball, rid of the ball so quickly, you're unsure of what is going to happen. How do you think they're going to do this time? I can ask both of you this question because you're not involved directly. But.
I mean, the headline is if you lose to Australia, it's a shocker. They're 7th or 8th in the world. Joe Smith's a great coach. They've had some reasonable form. We're picking a team that's based on England, Ireland and Scotland, who are currently 2nd or 3rd, 4th, 5th in the world. We're getting the best of those countries together. They'll have some time to gel before. There's been 9 Lions tours to Australia. The Lions have won 7. We don't win in South Africa. We don't win in New Zealand. We have done, but they are like hen's teeth. Australia is where you win. They're not as strong as they were. You got the pressure, absolutely, which makes Australia even more dangerous, playing them at the NCG in front of 100,000. Yeah. But bookies like have written the Aussies off. This is the Lions to win.
Does that take a little bit off the pressure, do you think, off the Lions, or will they still feel it? Will they feel it a bit more, do you think?
No, I think this doesn't take the pressure off at all. Just the pressure comes from wearing the badge rather than like who you're playing against. I think when you get that call up, it's a great achievement. You're like I'm going on a Lions tour, but I think immediately after that it's like what am I going to do to like contribute my best version of myself to this tour because I want to do a service to the badge and the guys from '97 all the way up till now. You know what I mean? But I love this forwards bash chat, bro. It should be like an actual real chat rather than you saying like, oh, it's beautiful. After you. I'm gonna call you to talk rugby some more, bro.
Yeah, we can
Who
bring
knew
that
if Front Row talks rugby? What's going on? The world's changing. Things are changing. I was there. What's happening?
Christian Wade, the coolest man on the rugby pitch. Who's surprised? Congratulations, rising heat champions.
Thought it wasn't hard to notice. Told me there's a lot to see. Optimist now, I'm hopeless. Tried to take a walk off Lisa.
Producers have been on to me. They keep telling me to tell you to like and subscribe. But my brother, you're at the end of the video now. You kind of helped me anyway. And I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to do. So if you don't want to like and subscribe, don't like and subscribe. But if you like me, then you'll like and subscribe. That's what I'll appreciate. Is that cool? Is that fair? Much love. See you soon. We're not going anywhere.